Good morning and welcome. This is the logic and accuracy test for the April 28th special election. My name is David Frisk. I'm the elections manager, and I'll introduce you to my team here. We have Daryl Dowds, who is the chief deputy auditor. This is Michael Aguirre. He is our technical analyst, and our public information officer is Steve Gardner, who will be working the camera for us. Thank you for joining. And we're going to go through the logic and accuracy test where we test our equipment to make sure that it all works great and everything counts out perfectly. What we have this election is just one contest. It is a small election for those Kitsap residents that reside in the North Mason County School District. There's about 264 voters, and our test will be in accordance with the RCW 29A12-130. We'll be testing today the programming of our digital ballot scan counting system to verify that it correctly counts the votes, and for all contests in this election. There is only one ballot type since there's only one race and there's only one precinct. This is our off camera here. Can we roll this out? I want to show them our accessible voting unit. This is our accessible voting unit here. And we've already tested that, so the election is on there, and we've confirmed all target areas are working properly on all devices, and all text on screen matches the actual text on ballots. What you're seeing now is we're standing in our tabulation room. It is probably the most secure facility in this building. It is locked with a key card entry. After we do today's test, it will be dual entry only, so only 2 full-time staff members will be able to access this room at any one time. It also has 24-hour video surveillance, so there's a camera right outside this door, which will show anyone coming or going 24 hours a day. And that is captured on DVR, right? And stored for the retention of the election. This room is also not connected to the internet in any way. Basically it's a safe room. The ballot scanning stations, which are over here on this side of the room, are also not connected to the tabulation station, which is over here. When we actually tabulate our results at 8 p.m. on election day, those results will be dropped onto an encrypted USB drive. Correct me if I get anything wrong here, Michael. And that drive will then be taken out and uploaded to the internet. That is a one-way device. That USB drive will not enter back into this room again during this election, so that nothing in this room can actually be contaminated by anything outside this room. So the first part of this test is we want to make sure that there's no data already in the system for this election. So we're going to run what we call a zero report. Michael will run that for us, and we'll print it out, and it'll show that we have results are zero votes counted. So it's a pretty simple process, and it's only one race. It shouldn't take too long. It'll print right out.
You can hold it up to the screen.
The first print of every day takes a couple minutes. This thing's got to warm up. I got to crank it on the side in order to get it up there. All right, here it goes. Okay, so we've got our zero report, which basically shows, hopefully that's in focus, but it shows 0 votes recorded. Okay, so now we know that we are ready to test our equipment. So we're going to actually scan in some actual ballots, test ballots.
Does somebody else need to verify that?
Yes. Yes, I'll give that to Daryl, and we'll verify that, as you can see.
Verify 0.
Thank you, sir. So the next step is to scan the ballots. Michael is over here at the scan station. we have 24 ballots, which we've kind of split up between the 3 stations. We can use any one of these 3 stations during the election, and so we need to make sure that they all work. So he's got 24 ballots. He's also going to show us on the computer. There's what do you call it? Like a legend that tells you what means what. So the different colors will show up if there's let's say a ballot that's blank or something that couldn't be read by the computer or an overvote or something like that. Then it'll show a different color, and then Michael will have to resolve that. Okay, are you ready, Michael?
Yes.
All right,
Go ahead.
go right ahead. It's going to scan. We're scanning 10 ballots here. So that means we should have 10 sheets scanned and should be 20 pages. And it is. So now he's going to review. There's no exceptions on that, nothing that needs to be adjudicated. He's going to move over to the next station here and test this one. Now what we're looking for here is we've pre-marked all of these ballots, so we know what the results should be, and when we run it through the system and we tabulate it on the tabulator, then it should match what we expect to happen. So the first response position on 20 of the ballots has been marked as a yes, and then we have 2 ballots marked as a no for the measure. We have 1 overvoted ballot, which means that it was marked both yes and no, and then we have 1 blank ballot where no choice was made. And so those are the results that we should get when we tabulate everything. Michael's moved on to the 3rd station here. We must have our blank in here then, and probably our overvoted ballot.
So we go to review.
Okay. So we're reviewing, and there's a red color here. We have 2 ballots that show up red. So one of those is going to be blank, one of them is going to be overvoted. This is our overvote. We have both a yes and a no for the measure, and that's why it shows up red. I don't know if you can see that or not.
And we'll accept it as a overvote.
Okay, so we accept that's a true overvote.
And the next one is unresolved.
That's unresolved. They didn't pick either yes or no, so we're going to accept that as a true undervote. And those are all the ones that needed resolution. So now Michael's going to move over to the what do we call this last station here?
Central count.
The central count. And he is going to download all these results onto what we call a V drive. And then those results will then be walked over to the tabulation computer and tabulated. And here you go, Daryl. This is what the results should show when we complete our tabulation. So you can confirm that that's what it actually does show. Okay, so Mike has moved on to the tabulation station. And he's going to upload the results. This is what we would do when we get to election day at 8 p.m. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take the results from the scan stations and upload them to the tabulation. And those are the results then will be uploaded to our website and to the state website. Okay, Michael's creating the report. And he's printing it. what we normally do is we have the results that we expect, and Daryl will read the results that are expected, and we'll compare them to the results that we have printed, that we've just tabulated to make sure that they're correct. So go ahead, Daryl.
Right, North Mason School District number 403 levy. Levy votes yes, 20.
Okay, yes, that's correct.
Levy votes no, 2.
Okay,
Undervotes 1.
there we go.
Overvotes 1.
Okay, very good.
For a total of 24 ballots.
All right, it's all there and all accurate. So we can attest now that our system
Very
is
good.
both logical and accurate.
Logical and accurate, yes.
Yeah, so that's very good. So we have some certification that we need to sign in order to finalize this. So let's get that over here. I'll move it over there, Steve. Okay, and then Michael, if you could, as soon as we're done with this, run out and make a copy for us.
Sure.
Okay, so let's see. So this is the certification. When we're done with this, excuse me, Darren, everything gets sealed up in a box with a security seal, and we store that for the retention of the election, which in this case of a special election is 60 days. So we've got a seal number here, which we'll both verify, which is
761055.
1055. Okay. Daryl is here representing the auditor as he is the chief deputy, so he'll go ahead and sign as auditor.
We need a copy.
Yeah, and then this too. And then I will sign as the elections manager. We don't have any observers here outside of y'all. So, but if Steve, if you'd like to sign as others attending. And Michael? Okay, so Michael's just gonna make a copy of that because the original will get sealed up in this box with the test ballots and the results, and then we'll keep a copy for our records.
And that sealed box with the will stay under lock and key and security until the election is certified.
Mm-hmm. And so that's pretty much it. That's the logic and accuracy test. Thankfully, we don't normally just go live with a test unless we've already tested it. So we pretty much knew it was going to work, but you never know what could happen. So we always make sure that it's accurate. If this were an election involving state races, we would have the Secretary of State representative here observing and certifying the election with us. Okay, thank you, Michael. So we're going to take these original certificate signed by the Chief Deputy Auditor and myself and observers, and the results as well, and we're going to lock those, seal those up in this box. Okay. When we do that, we just take one of these plastic seals here. And there we go. All done.
All right.
Well, thank you very much for observing. Please let us know if you have any questions. You can communicate via Facebook if you like, or you can send us an email at auditor@co.kitsap.wa.us.
Or you can call us.
Or you can call us if you like. Thank you very much.